It's thinking. Let's see. All right, and welcome to a very special edition of the Hospitality Mentor podcast. And we are live from HITEC. It's the end of the day here at HITEC in San Antonio.
Yes, it's an amazing event. And by the way, thank you so much for letting me join you.
Yeah, of course, Sarah. Special guest Sarah here joining the Hospitality Mentor podcast. But before we jump in, we've been a sponsor I got to give a shout out to. As always, we love Lodgify. If you have a property management company or vacation rental company, make sure to try Lodgify. And because you're a special listener here, and we're all VIPs on the Hospitality Mentor podcast, you can get up to 60% off, but it's only valid from June 17th to June 30th, so starting tomorrow, using promo code THM60, and that's THM60. Now, we can talk about what's going on here at HITEC, but we should talk about what happened yesterday.
Oh, yes. Yesterday was great.
Why don't we talk about that? What did we have yesterday?
Okay, so yesterday was the inaugural Hospitality Creator Summit. This was sort of the brainchild of Anna Blue and Anthony Melchiori, and it really came together very quickly. Actually, earlier this year, they came up with this idea because there are so many hospitality creators in the space, but there really isn't an actual conference for those individuals. Yes, there might be travel creator conferences, but not anything that's specifically hospitality creators. They're really doing more B2B content. And it was, I mean, honestly, it was a fantastic day. First of all, the number of individuals that showed up, they had, I think, over 200 people sign up. They showed up, they stayed all day, which was great. The content was fantastic. I mean, even I was like kind of part of like the phone calls as they were gearing up for it. Like, okay, well, this will be interesting to see. But as it came together, I mean, really such an exceptional job. And like the energy in the room was just up there. What
really was amazing. It was my first time. It was the first event.
Everybody's first time, yeah.
But it was so cool because I flew in that morning and I got there even a little late. And when I walked into the room around like 10:30 or 11, when I texted you, I was like, oh my gosh, that DJ playing, interacting with the crowd, giving people like tasks to do to help really improve their creator game, and then getting to meet everybody that you only see digitally here in the world. We got to meet everybody that we've only known online, and so it was a really cool way to get everyone together in that space and learn from each other. Only a couple egos in there, I think, but for the most part, everybody was helping each other. There is no like competition. It was really like, hey, you should try this and learn new things. And the speakers that were on stage, you were running a panel.
I did.
Which is very cool.
It was I think it was an okay panel. I mean, it felt more like a stand-up routine at the beginning, but kind of once we got through it. But we talked about a lot of really interesting topics. Like we had people from the brand side. Actually, for example, the topic I did was behind the brand deal. So really having two different representatives from different hotel brands break down how they work with creators, what that looks like, the path to doing in-kind partnerships to, actual money partnerships, and how they even just go through and choose who they end up working with. So that was great. I mean, so many.
Well, you know what's cool though was like we actually got into some real things. So I think we can dive a little into it because I think a lot of people on this podcast like hearing how things are done and why they do certain things. And you learned a lot from that because you had Margaritaville on the stage and My Place Hotels. So what were some of the things that you learned from them about pitching to a hotel to be a creator and like getting your content and working with brands? Because it was really good.
It was good. And I think it really just comes down to kind of what we already know, is that to show up and be your genuine self, especially with your interactions with any brands. And when you're pitching yourself, understanding, what you're bringing to the table, working with them, because obviously there's so much behind the scenes when it comes to budgets, what they can work with. But again, just it all comes down to relationships. And there's not one size fits all when it comes to a deal.
Yeah. And I think what was cool too was just learning how they see creators. Like some of them are like, all right, you don't have to have a giant audience. They were saying, look, we work with people that have 900 followers, but we just like their aesthetic and we like to see what they could do for our brand. My Place Hotel was like, hey, we'll give anybody a shot almost if they're the right fit, but we want to see if they can drive business and can they really drive bookings to our platform.
Exactly.
And they found people that could, because I was like, I don't know if people can really drive, commission bookings and do things that way.
It's challenging to do that because you have to, it's such a niche. It's also the idea that they see it from your video, and then the time that they see it from a video or your content that you're creating to them when they end up booking, that it isn't always instantaneous, so
Right.
it's hard to track that.
Yes. So I thought that was interesting. That was gonna be one
Yeah.
of my questions, but your panel was so popular, everyone wanted to ask questions.
Yeah, there were a lot
about
of questions.
how much money do I charge? What is the way you
Totally.
submit things? But I like that.
The earlier conversations were really good as far as email marketing with newsletters.
It was good. I like that one.
Building up podcasts, which is also always great. I mean, I always feel like there's more that we can learn with that.
Yeah, I like that. I like the stats because you hear the stats over and over again. But for us listeners here, if you're trying to start one, it says, look, if you're going to start one, get 3 episodes under your belt. And if you can get to more than 9 episodes, what they say, you're like in the top 90%.
Yeah, something like that.
So I think we surpassed that. We've gotten up there.
Yeah, we definitely have.
I liked hearing those things. And then it was just interesting to be at the dinner afterwards and get to talk to the teams at Modern Hotelier and Anthony Melchiori.
Yes.
Hang out with you. And
huge shout out to
this guy. Let me give a shout out to Tyler, who's been hanging out with us the whole time. Tyler, come over
Tyler,
here.
come over.
Bring your gear, Tyler. Show them what
look.
you've been doing.
Look.
Hold on. We got Tyler, the creator, is who I'm calling him.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Tyler's been hanging with us.
Helping out a little bit.
Yeah.
Love it.
What did you like that you've learned so much from?
Honestly, kind of great insight. I'm really excited to see kind of where the future goes with everything. I really do enjoy seeing kind of some of the data behind all this stuff. I think the hospitality industry has some great stuff coming up. It's cool to see some creators like me in there as well too, and like you guys. So yeah, you guys are doing great, and I appreciate you guys bringing me in.
Oh, we got the whole team in the house.
Now you can see some of the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
But the other cool thing that Anthony and the team did was they created a place here at HITEC on the floor.
Yes.
So tell them what they created, because I think that's something unique I haven't seen.
Yeah, they actually created, they've got their Hospitality Creator Summit little booth area where you can come and create content. So they've got a whole little setup. You can come there, you can film an interview. They also have an area that has a green screen. So again, it's helping promote individuals, whether you're working with a brand, whether you are an individual creator yourself, come here. There's a space to create content. You've got a whole support group, and I love that.
Yeah, and Chris, thanks for the question. Was anything recorded for those unable to make the conference?
It has been, but
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll find out for you.
There's a lot of cameras everywhere. I know that, and they were
a lot of
definitely
cameras
highlighting things. I don't know if the entire one's there, but it was definitely. I think they said they were going to share something publicly soon. But good question, Chris. Thanks.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So, all right, what else can we get into? This guy, we didn't plan this show. We were just sitting here we're going live for everybody.
We're going live. We're going
last minute, but we're here with the team at Muse. We learned some cool things that they're up to.
Yeah.
We were walking the floor. I got to give a shout out to my friends at Real Time Reservation. We're going to be recording live from their booth tomorrow.
So tune in for that.
Because they have some big news to share.
Exactly. I saw my friends over at eTip as well. So digital tipping, you guys, if you are not on board with that, you should totally get on board. They're doing great things. Yeah, this is.
What I've seen here this year is that people went all out with booths.
They did.
This year they spent a lot of money on getting people to the experience at their booth. Like there's mini golf at certain booths, there's full baristas. Like I thought, my friends at Real Time were doing a good job with a coffee setup, but then so you look around at some of them, they had ice cream behind us. Muse was here. You'll see me later on spinning basketballs and playing basketball with them. Like they have a lot of fun stuff going on in here.
Totally.
But we're learning to see like now more and more people, the technologies to really make it easier so you don't have to log into so many things.
Yeah, that seems to be the conversation everywhere. It's like, okay, a lot of these companies are acknowledging that there's data in different silos, and now it's like, okay, how do we aggregate that so it's all in one place and that you've got one system that can talk to pretty much everything. I mean, that's been a challenge for many, many years.
Yes.
And I'm excited that I feel like everybody is focusing on a solution for that.
And there's not as much AI as I thought this year. Like last year, I lie. It's like 3 signs out here that say AI.
Yeah.
Everyone's got AI, but they're now becoming like very specific in what they're doing with AI. It's like, all right, we have agents that are going to do this type of work, and they connect directly to your PMS. Then there's people like they're taking a ton of data and how you can upsell to different people. There's not that many robots here this year.
No, but there
like
are
2 booths.
Okay. I didn't really bump into any this year, but I'm sure they're around.
But it's a lot more AI data systems that help you do everything smart. I met one company. I wish I remember their name, but they use AI to control that has motion sensors in the room, so they know as soon as you're not there, they control your AC, the lighting, the how the doors are locked, how the refrigerators are run, everything in a room. So I thought that was cool, and that drives savings to the bottom. But what's something cool that you've seen that's like, wow, this is something new that I haven't really experienced?
Oh gosh, I don't know that discovered much
Not
new
yet?
yet. Not yet. I
Mhm.
still there's still some more time to explore just a little bit. But I mean, it, I mean, it just seems like they've just done a little like more this year.
Yes. And we're in San Antonio, which I like this venue better than last year. I'm not
Yeah.
hating on the last year's
No,
city,
no, no,
but this
no.
is a nice venue.
Every city has always got like its own thing going on.
And I also think too, maybe because of HCS, so the Creator
Yeah.
Summit we were talking about earlier. If you're just joining now, it is something interesting to see that. Oh, the thumbs up we just gave. What's interesting to see is that there's a lot more creators on the floor.
Yeah.
Right. So you see a lot more cameras.
Oh,
you
totally.
see people out here live streaming, recording.
I feel like that really set the scene and set the stage for this year. There seems to be a bit of a different energy because obviously it's going to naturally be a very tech heavy crowd.
Yeah.
It is high tech, but and there is also HSMAI that's happening
as well.
But I think that this is, you know, having that creator aspect. I think it's getting more creators here. So.
Yeah. Paul Manzi, booth refreshments are criminally underrated.
So underrated.
I know, but there's some of the good ones here. I wish I could show you. Like there's a local ice cream shop behind us. The people are stepping up their bar game. There's now a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Not as much as the cruise ship one that we were at. That
No.
one had like it was like everywhere.
No,
It was
Sea
like a
Trade
full
is
restaurant at
definitely
Sea Trade.
is definitely a jam. There's a lot going on. But again, I mean, this is definitely it is the tech conference of the year,
Yes.
really.
So what I wanted to, when we were on the podcast with Anthony, he asked us a question about why people should be creating more content and why are they not. So you gave a great answer. Why do you think more of the people watching this, if you have a tech company or any hospitality company, that you should be creating content?
Well, I mean, I think in general, a lot of the owners or CEOs of different companies, they just underestimate the power of social media. And especially if they've been in the game for a long time, they might just have a more traditional view on media, not really understand that the absolute importance and value of having somebody on your team. I mean, Muse, for example, we can give a shout out to them. They have a social media team, and they've got people that is what they are experts in, and you can see that in their content. And they're out there, they're doing a lot of different things. They're playing around with it, but I think, and maybe this was what you were referring to, but it's all about having a personality. Yes. And we can definitely understand what that means. Like if you're a personal brand is like to show more of your personality. But I think what's so underrated, and a lot of brands don't necessarily do this, is have a personality yourself as a brand. I mean, look, Muse behind us, they're pink. They've got basketballs. They're going all out. You're not going to forget the pink basketballs.
No.
Especially.
Listen, I could spin it. No one believed me. I was spinning it on my finger.
His spinning skills, for example. But again, that's how they're standing out. Where you might have others that's like, okay, it might be a big booth or this or that, but what makes a difference than the booth next to it? So
I think what I like to see more of, and what I think that people need to understand more, is you don't have to make a commercial. Like, it doesn't have to be oh, here's a podcast live from your booth, and here's what we do, and this is what it is. I think it's more of giving value to people who are watching. What are we seeing? What are we learning? You know, really showing some behind the scenes of how deals are made. Those are the things that I'm seeing right now. Like, we got creative for one of my clients, and we did a press conference at their booth and invited press. And when that press conference was done, we invited them for coffee, and they got to hang out, and we took photos, and you were hanging out there.
I was hanging out.
You're a celebrity. And so it was a lot of fun to be able to have those things. But I think more companies should do that. So if you need help, let us know. We can really help you, and so you can understand and tell your stories. And I think we're going to see more and more of that as companies go, because it's also interesting. Like, to get someone to your booth is hard sometimes.
Absolutely. I mean, it is tricky, especially here. It's a big room. There's a lot going on. There's distractions. You're walking down, you know, you're walking from one place to another. Somebody pulls you to the side. I mean, it can be, there's a lot happening. So
Mr. Manzi over here, Manzi Digital. So he's saying social media content is so powerful. One piece of content can be multi-purpose across multiple channels and different mediums of content.
Well,
I agree. I agree with you. We were just talking about our friend Katie Klein, who's also one of our friends who are podcaster, how she created one piece of content. But I want to ask her about tomorrow.
Oh my gosh,
you showed me yesterday.
To talk about it. It's fantastic. So
tell people here how one piece of content can really.
So Katie Klein, for example, last week. So
I like that they're cleaning right behind us.
I know.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Get it. Get up there. Get that smudge.
Get it.
So if you're listening to this on the replay, there's someone really wiping down all the fingerprints off the Muse background. Attention to detail.
I love it. So Katie Klein actually ended up documenting going to Ireland and going to her grandmother's house. The last person that lived in there was maybe her uncle or great uncle, and nobody has been in this house for 20 years. He had some sort of like, either he had a stroke or something, and he basically was like unexpected. They took him from that, and then he ended up having to go into a home. So it really was like he was living there one day and then out the next day. So it felt like a time. I mean, there was laundry hanging up. I mean, it was wild.
Yeah, so like the video, if you go back, she made this content. Like, I haven't been in it. The door isn't open. They got a locksmith. They opened up this door, and it was part of her travel content.
Totally.
And then it blew up to get millions and millions of views. And now her following, like, 10x or 100x.
I don't know.
She's like at 170,000.
She wasn't, but that was before. Now she might be over 200,000.
So just one piece of content. But I'm gonna ask her about it tomorrow too when we go on the podcast together, because you're traveling tomorrow.
Yes, I will be traveling.
That's why we're doing this.
Exactly.
But it just shows you the power of one piece of content, what it can do, and for brands, like, it doesn't have to be super corporate. No, I'd rather it not be it more real.
No,
that's a lot of stuff that we're talking about right now.
Exactly. So. Yeah, this has been good.
It's been a good show. What else do we want to talk about here? Listeners, I see a lot of you are watching. If you have any questions about HITEC or HCS, let us know. We're happy to answer what we saw. But I have a question for you about HCS, because I missed the beginning. What was the energy like when you first walked in there? Were people nervous? Was it kind of like weird that everyone's meeting each other for the first time? All these
No, it was exciting. It was really exciting at the beginning. First of all, everybody was there. They were like, I mean, the house, it was a full house from the start of the day. People were excited to be there. Everybody was like taking photos together. There was a step and repeat. And what I really love, both Anthony actually and Glenn Houseman, I think they set the stage really well, because, you know, when it comes to this industry, I know a lot of people look up to them. Yes. And they have very different brands, but they've done exceptionally well in their own right. And what I love that both of them did, and whether it was on purpose or not, they were a bit vulnerable with their stories.
Yeah, they were honest.
And they were honest, and they shared aspects about whether it's their personalities or even their fears or what they've had to overcome. And I love that, because it really set the stage for us to be like, we are just going to have an open, honest conversation. There's not going to be egos involved today. You know, all of us have had to overcome things, be it as fear of public speaking, or, you know, Glenn was like, I'm just owning that, like, I'm a goofy dude. And it's like, dude, own it. Yeah. Like, own it. So that was, and he even dropped a couple F-bombs, which I was surprised. Yeah, I appreciated. So yeah, it was just
really
great.
Good. I like the energy in the room. You know, we're not trying to do a long podcast here to stretch it out for you guys. We're just sitting here and we're like, let's go live. Let's talk to our friends that are always watching and live, you know, on live. Let's have a chat with everybody.
We're live and together in person.
Yes, I know, before you leave. So we always love doing our live shows.
Exactly. We were together last week, now this week.
Yeah.
What?
And then we've got Muse, I think, after party. So if you're here in San Antonio, if
come
you're not
say
on the
hi.
list, try to get on there. And if there's somewhere cool to go, like we were just walking the river walk, we'd love to see what's going on. I almost got attacked by some birds underneath a bridge. Had a long walk in the dark. It was a little shady, but there's cool areas in San Antonio. Let us know. Other than the river walk, we're always looking for some fun things to do.
Yeah.
But listen, I think this was a great show.
It was great.
You know,
a nice little pop in. Thank you guys for joining.
You guys and hanging out with us.
Unexpected, but I think fun.
Yeah, nice little episode of the Hospitality Mentor. A little pop in.
Yeah.
And then listen, next week we'll join again in person.
In person.
And we'll save our sign off for that show.
Yeah, we will. We definitely will. So your Hospitality Mentor with a side of Sarah Dandashi.
I love it. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And if you're here at HITEC, make sure to come by. I'm here until Thursday. Would love to connect with you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.